Hello, everybody. This is Pastor KZ with the All About Favor channel. This is your word for today. I'd like to use Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 and 2 as foundational scriptures, and you can read that scripture in your leisure and for the process of time. But the author states in these scriptures, let us throw off everything that hinders. Let us throw off everything that hinders. That part right there is what someone needs to hear today. You need to hear that right now. Throw off everything that hinders you. What are some of those things that's hindering you? And when I say hinders, and it means something that's holding you back, something that's blocking you, something that's an obstacle, something that is in the way. You have got to throw it off. Some of those things include that pain that you're holding on to, that unforgiveness that you're holding on to, that anger that you've been carrying around for years, carrying around other people's burdens and other people's problems, other people's stuff and baggage. You just carrying it around. You trying to be a part and do too much for other people that you're neglecting yourself. You're worrying about your grown children and what's going on in their household. You have got to throw off these things that's hindering you and that's blocking you. Some of these things got you bogged down. Let me say this to someone out there. You cannot afford to be burdened down all the time. You cannot afford to be carrying other people's problems around. You can't afford to keep walking in this bitterness and this anger that you have and this unforgiveness, this shame that you got carrying on and guilt. You have got to throw that stuff off. Now, I'm not minimizing or diminishing the fact that your pain is there. I'm not minimizing the fact that you don't have a valid reason maybe to have an issue with somebody and have problems forgiving them. I'm not diminishing that, because some of you have gone through some stuff that was hurtful, that was messy. You have been hurt to the core by some people that you love and trusted, and you cannot understand how they could do you like that and betray you like that. I'm not minimizing that, but what I am saying is, as long as you holding on to this stuff, it's blocking your blessing, it's hindering your growth and development. At some point you have to say, I gotta let this go for my benefit. Some of you are holding on to stuff you need to throw off, not only because it's hindering you, but it's hindering you in other aspects and areas of your life. For example, when you holding on to stuff, you walking around stressed out. You're full of anxiety. Y'all know anger is a bad thing because it gets your blood pressure up. Some of you walking around with diagnoses of high blood pressure and stress-related things that is strictly because of some emotional stuff you going through. Some emotional trauma, some stuff you haven't been able to let go or get past. And it's time to kind of move forward and heal. Now, I am not saying when you're dealing with bereavement that's something that you can just throw off, because it's not. No one can tell you how long you can grieve. That's a feeling we all at some point in life will have to deal with, the loss of a loved one. And believe me, even if that loved one has had a chronic illness, it doesn't make it any easier when you get that phone call. I will do a show about that a later time. But for your word for the day, you've got to throw off things that hinder you. And you got to decide today that this is what you have to do. Where you're going, y'all, is better than where you're coming from. What's up ahead for you is better than what you're going to leave behind. And sometimes what you're leaving behind may have been good and may have served you well, but the season is up and now it's time to move forward. And as long as you're not trying to move forward with this, it is hindering you, and it's time to throw it off. Things happen in life, but you can't stay stuck there. When things weigh you down, you've got to figure out a way to get that burden released off of you. And one thing you got to realize, you cannot continue to allow things or people or situations to block or hinder your breakthrough. See, sometimes you your own worst enemy. But today's word, I want you to remember. Throw off everything that's hindering you and that's blocking you. Y'all be blessed. Have a wonderful Sunday. This was your word for the day. I am Pastor KZ. And please remember, find something good. Everything is not always bad. And no matter what state you're in, guess what? God is in the turnaround business. This too shall pass. I want you to say that in your spirit and say that out loud today. This too shall pass. Things gonna turn around. Y'all have a wonderful Sunday. Eat some good food. Love on your family and friends. And I will see you back tomorrow.